Well, I didn't get to see from where I was how many people came in from social media overall, whether it was Twitter, Instagram. Normally it's a bigger crowd than that even, huh? How many came in from just a Blitz card? Wow. So how did everybody else come in? Friends. Okay, I see. And if your friends brought you in, did you see that because they called you or because they posted on Facebook? Awesome. Because most of the time, even when you don't have a business page, a Facebook business page, even your friends are watching you on Facebook. So what I love about the three of us being up here is that we are going to give you some tips today that you can use to build your business. And even if you're not on our team, we're always willing to help. And so Melody had me do a call last year about Facebook and about building your business on social media. And Jaree happened to be on that call. And she just took those few tips. I mean, a conference call is not very long. She took those few tips and she applied them to her business. And then she started exploding. She started promoting. She went presidential. And then the same thing, I think similar happened with Susan, right? Mm-hmm. And so none of us are on each other's teams, but we have picked things up from each other. And now we all keep in contact daily about, what are you doing to tweak things? What's working for you? And then we all three share those with our teams and with you guys as a whole. So I'm going to go ahead and let Jaree kind of talk about how she got started and maybe what you heard on that conference call that sparked your interest.
First of all, I just want to say thank you for having me up here, Mel. This is awesome. We really appreciate you honoring us this way. But like Amanda said, I heard that call on that Amanda did on Facebook. She went presidential on Facebook in 8 months. 8 months. And so I had gone diamond my second month, and we kind of set stagnant because my husband was going to deploy, and I got in a funk like we all do. Your husband doesn't have to deploy to get in a funk. But we get in those sometimes, and I was like thinking, I'm a homeschooling, stay-at-home mom. I'm a homebody. Like, being up here is totally out of my comfort zone. I would much rather sit behind my computer and talk to people that way. But when I found out that she was able to achieve that, and I already loved Facebook anyway, I just found her page. Like, I just kind of started stalking her personal page to try to figure out what is her business page, because it doesn't say Amanda used to be Charnley. And so I finally figured it out and went on there, and I just copied what she was doing. She had all the just amazing posts on there. She played games. There was bingo. She did a giveaway every now and again, but she would post inspirational things. It wasn't just a bunch of tummy pictures. She was drawing people in, and she had a big following. So I started doing what she was doing, and wouldn't you know, it worked. It worked amazingly. So then came along Susan. She was this up-and-coming rock star that I was seeing on Journey to Diamond. This girl went from ruby to double diamond. She skipped and just went straight to double diamond. And she reached out to me, and so I was able to help her, give her tips. But now all of our pages are rocking, you guys. We're close to 50, I think you're over, but 50,000 fans almost. And we've all primarily built on this, other than in the beginning. I think you and I did a little bit of a warm market. Right. And then Amanda had a little bit of a warm market, but on Facebook. Yeah. So I'm going to bring Susan on because she's a rock star.
I mainly started with my warm market. I joined the business, and, whether it was any person I wrapped, I said, here's my Facebook page, go like it. Because anytime a friend likes their Facebook page, it's going to show up in their newsfeed. So even though you're not friends with them, all of their friends are seeing, my page name is Rapping Mom. So Sarah likes Rapping Mom, and it's going to show up. And so my page just started slowly spreading. I think right now I have 400 personal friends on my business page that like it. But that slowly took a little bit of time. And I worked my personal page a lot because I knew that I didn't want to overwhelm people with before and after pictures, but I knew that that was like the one thing, that grabbed them. So when I posted, it's hard to post an after picture. I just had a baby, but I did it, and that really is what sparked interest. So people saw my after picture, and they were like, what is this? And I said, I have appointments available. So I started setting up all these appointments, and then they started liking my page, and it just kind of grew from there. And then, you know, I started looking at Jaree's page, and, you know, I'd heard about Amanda's page. And it is so true, you guys, that you cannot make your page 100% it works. I mean, we love it works, but you're really going to start drawing people in, whether it's a recipe. It doesn't necessarily always have to be a healthy recipe, because, I mean, my biggest post, I think it got up to like 100,000 shares, was like an eggless cookie dough recipe. Kind of healthy, I guess. I don't know. But, I mean, those are the type of things, like mommy advice, quotes on pictures that people like to share. Those are the things that people love sharing with their friends. And obviously, people may like my page not knowing what Wrapping Mom is. I even have people that write me that think I'm like a wrapping paper business, or I don't know, just different things. But then they see my It Works stuff. 80% is usually not It Works, and 20% is. And so they'll see randomly, oh, what's this before and after picture? Oh, what's the profit? So it's a way to really draw them in.
Definitely. I noticed, too, with you saying that, I was just telling Nate yesterday, we need to find some really unhealthy recipes, which sounds funny because we're a healthy page, but I think the one that I have that got the most shares was like a Cinnabon cinnamon roll, and it was like zoomed in to the max, and there was icing just drizzling over it. It looked ridiculous, but people are like, oh my gosh. Or then if you have one that tells them how to make that at home, then they're going to want to share it because that saves it to their timeline. And something that so that they can go back and get it later. And something that I've been noticing also that works really well is before I ever share it, I will say, oh my gosh, you have to save this to your timeline so that you can have it when you're ready to find this later, or when you're ready to make this. Same with like DIY crafts, or there's so many like in a jar crafts that you can do, cookies in a jar, bath salts in a jar, and all year long at my house we save glass jars, spaghetti jars, and so I always look for things like that anyways, because I let my kids do gifts for our family for Christmas from them, and moms love that stuff. They love pinning stuff like that. It's basically like Pinterest. They're pinning that to their timeline. They're sharing it so that they can go back later and find it easily. But in the meantime, they're sharing it so that they can keep it. It's also sharing it with all of their friends. And then if their sister Susie shares it so she can keep it, and then I call it your Facebook arm. You know, your arm and your reach is your friends or your fans on your Facebook page. And then you share it with your friends, and then they share it with their friends. And just as many friends as they have on their friends list, that's how long your Facebook arm is, basically.
And I have a small little tip. If you are going to do an unhealthy recipe, Susie just got done talking about our fat fighter.
Yes.
So you post the unhealthy recipe, and then on the bottom say, and don't forget my $23 fat fighter, purchase here at, wrappingmom.com. So every single one of those 500,000 people that shared that cookie dough recipe, they're going to see my name. They may not click it, but it's going to get my page name out there.
One of the other tips that I would just give you guys is don't necessarily brand yourself so much as It Works on your business pages. Brand yourself. Brand you, because people are going to buy you more than they're going to buy your product, because they want to know who you are. So post pictures of your kids, what you're doing, and most of all, share your lifestyle with them, because you're not only looking for loyal customers on there, you're looking for people to join your business. And so when they see that you're traveling all over the place, or even that you just maybe paid for your groceries, I know Amanda and we were talking about this the other day. Even if you just are able to make a house payment with your It Works paycheck, put that on Facebook, whether it's your business page, your personal page. Say, hey, It Works just paid my mortgage. It Works just bought $50 worth of groceries. It Works made my car payment, because that's going to draw people in. You want to draw people in and not puke all over them. So when you just show them what your lifestyle is, and what's the 80-20 rule, right? Yeah. So you're going to post 80% about lifestyle, inspirational posts, recipes, and then 20% about the business.
Yes.
And that's how you're going to draw people in. Ask them leading questions. Don't just, when somebody's like, hey, I want to know what's a loyal customer, how much are wraps? I will really draw them into the conversation before I just give them all the information about being a loyal customer. I'll say something like, the wraps cost $99, but if you want to become a loyal customer, they're only $59. That's it. I don't say anything else. Every single last person is going to come back and say, well, how do I become a loyal customer? What's a loyal customer? Then you're not trying to sell them something. You're just answering their questions.
Or
so there's
even
really
come
an
back
art.
with a question like, what are your goals? Hey, it's nice to meet you. I'd love to hear about your goals because I like to personally work with my customers. So let's go over some of your goals, and then I can maybe let you know if we even have something in addition, or I can let you know exactly what's going to reach, get you to your destination as quick as possible. Another thing that I do is I like to combine my lifestyle posts with recipe posts and things like that. So if I'm like baking something, or like I made snickerdoodle cookies a few weeks ago, and I just opened the oven to check on them, and they looked fabulous, so I just got my iPhone out and snapped a photo of it. And that kind of brought it full circle. Like when I posted it, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait till these get out of the oven. I keep checking the darn thing. They're not done yet, and I can't wait to have my fat fighters. Or sometimes when I pull a casserole out of the oven and my fat fighters are right there on the bar, I'll scoot them close to there and just snap a photo, just because it's just correlating the two, correlating that I don't eat a meal. I do not eat a meal that's bad for me without having my supplements, hands down. I go every single day having the greens, some sort of supplement. And if I have anything that does not have, or it's not fruit or salad, I make sure that I have my fat fighters. So just correlating that with your customers and your fan base, but also just that relationship factor. You're building relationships with these people. Between the three of us, we have over 100,000 people that are following us. And so we're trying our hardest to create relationships with them. And the best way you can do that is to show your personality. So even if you're sharing a recipe or posting an ad even, I try to put a little tidbit of personality in there as well. So if I'm sharing a really fattening recipe, I'll say, oh goodness, I'm going to feel so guilty about this. Or if I'm sharing a great before and after result of wraps, I'll say, holy cow, I cannot believe these results. And so that way it's just not so bland, so 1, 2, 3, to where your customers are almost like cracking up, like, she could be my friend, I could totally hang out with her. And that's the relationship that you're wanting to build, because like Jaree said, really, in a setting like that, you could almost sell anything. We do have a win-win because we have a product that people want as well. But I can tell you right now that when you're branding yourself and you're showing your personality and you're becoming vulnerable and transparent to your customer base, they would buy anything off of you. So you guys have the kicker because you have a sizzle product like the Ultimate Body Applicator, but in the same breath, if you're just allowing yourself to be you, and you stop trying to sell and start trying to share, it is going to happen literally overnight when you just say, okay, I've let my guard down, I'm going to bring the walls down just a little bit, and I'm just going to be myself. And I'm just going to share what I have. I'm not going to be pushy, because there are so many people that want this that if you're trying to pitch it to the people that don't, you're wearing yourself out. So you're exhausting your efforts. So just sit back, okay, and be yourself and allow your personality to shine through to your fan base or your customer base, even if it's just a personal friends list, because that's what's going to make people attracted to you. Even, there are tons of Facebook pages now, obviously, for It Works, but I'm telling you, the ones that are showing their personality and the ones that are taking tips from people that have built it that way they are going to be the ones that stick around. Every few months, we'll see an explosion of It Works pages, and I say, Jaree will call me and say, gosh, there's just so many now. Even we think that sometimes, and I will say, just give it a few months. Give it a few months, and then you will see who's really, really building it. Because even if you look at it outside of Facebook, that a lot of the people that you're going to put in are going to fall off. Okay, so it's the same way with Facebook pages. If you see a ton of them, chances are in 6 months, 50% of those people aren't going to be building their business anymore. So sure, you're going to see a lot, but it doesn't matter, because people that are going to join your business are going to join your business, because that's the way that it's going to happen no matter what. It's already designed for you that way. And also, if you are allowing yourself to create relationships, they could see 10 other pages and they're going to remember yours. If they see, it's almost like those people are helping us still, because if somebody sees Jaree's post tomorrow and they see Susan's post the next day, but I was the first person that they had contact with, they may say, okay, now I'm really ready to purchase, but I'm going to go back to Mina. I'm going to go back to Wraps by Mina and purchase from her. Same with these girls. Oh, I really liked that Susan has a young child because I think that we relate. I think I want to be on her team. Or Jaree homeschools, and she's said that. She's given that part of her to her fan base so they know her. So when somebody decides to join her team, if they see a post on Susan's page, they're going to say, you know what though, Jaree's going to really know how to build this business because she homeschools her kids. So she's going to know how to build it like I would build it because I homeschool my kids. It's the same if you are a chiropractor. It's the same if you're a hairstylist. If you're not putting it out there to allow people to relate to you, then you're not giving them your all. There could be people that aren't joining your business because they can't relate to you. If someone's a hairstylist and you have a Facebook page, put it out there. You're tired of standing on your feet all day. You love cutting hair because it's your passion, but you're loving this crazy wrap thing because somebody's going to see that that's a hairstylist, and they're going to be tired of standing on their feet all day, and they're going to relate to that.
Yeah. You know, and I would really caution you guys, too, don't air your dirty laundry. Don't air it on your personal pages because people are watching you. Don't air it on your business pages. I don't care if you're having baby daddy mama drama. You cannot post that. You will lose people for that reason. You don't know how many times that Chad and I get people that are like, can we join your team because the person that sponsored us is just ate up. They're ate up. They don't talk right. They're getting into fights on Facebook, and it's ignorant. We are all grown adults, and this is going to be a multi-billion-dollar company next year. That's going to happen. You have an opportunity to build a legacy for yourselves, for your children. Treat this business like a business, and you'll make crazy money. You guys, it's changed everything for us. We're standing up here. We had no experience as networkers ever. We're all just moms. And we built this thing solely off of Facebook just because we were teachable, we're trainable, and because we love the products. And we are committed. I'm going to tell you right now that all of us, we spend 10, sometimes 14 hours a day on Facebook building. This is not like it just happened. We work our tails off. We work hard, and it has been a lot of our blood, sweat, and tears that we put into those pages. So if you want what we have, you're going to have to go to work. It wasn't handed to us.
I'm so glad she said that because the next thing I was going to mention, and it kind of relates with social media, but I just want to stem off from this. Recently, on all teams, because y'all add me on Facebook all the time, I see people post about other network marketing companies. We just got back from Dash, and I will guarantee you that every single person in that room that's a presidential diamond and above is not in another network marketing company, okay? All of us, when she says we're committed, we're 100% committed. So I feel sorry for these people that are doing all those other companies because what is that doing? It may be getting you free products, okay? Free candles, woohoo. But the people that are scrolling through your Facebook and they see that you're doing a candle company or doing a makeup company, when they see you post an It Works status, they're going to say, oh, that's just another network marketing company. So you need to tell these people why you're in this business because, y'all, we're in a company that's completely different than anything out there. That's why it took me 3 months to even try the wrap, to even talk to my enroller about joining because of, just some background that I've seen. Our compensation plan is unlike no other. So, again, be careful what you post. Be careful what you share of other people's. When I'm 100% committed. Not my whole news feed is about It Works, but it's about my lifestyle. But I know that if you're sitting here and you want to be up here, you want to be at Dash next year, be 100% committed.
Yes.
It's going to take you leaving those companies. And some of you may not know this, but a lot of the companies you may be in, it's against compliance to be in both. Because if they sell similar products as us, you really are not supposed to be in a competing company. So I just want to encourage you that this is the company to be in. And it's something that you really need to make a decision. And doing two companies, you're not going to be 100% committed. You just won't.
Yeah, I think too that just to kind of touch on what Jaree said a little bit about getting to work, I think that 90% of the time we see we do a training like this, or we speak at a training like this, and we will get messages from people that say, okay, you know, how do I do this? What's the next step? And we have all, you know, together concluded that we just need to tell people to research it. Google it. Google, how do I build my business on Facebook? Because each of you are going to build it a little bit differently. Jaree, you know, she may say that she came and just copied me. She really didn't. She tweaked things and made things her own too. And so, and especially once she really started taking off, because then I started learning things from her, and then I started tweaking those things to make them my own. It's the same way. But if we sat up here and told you every little way that we do it, you're not going to do it that way anyways. So that's the biggest way, is just go and Google, how do I build my business on Facebook? A lot of the things that we're telling you is really, it's just that simple, but you need to learn how to make it come from you. But another thing is that we will get questions, and we will hear from people that say, you know, oh, we came to this training, we didn't, and then we weren't able to do it. But that is literally just because people will look at pages like ours and think that that's going to happen overnight. And so I wanted to touch on what Jaree said and kind of focus it directly at you guys, that when you see a fan page like ours that has 40,000 fans or 60,000 fans or whatever, it does not happen overnight. You know, I have distributors all the time that will be in for a month, and they'll come back and they'll say, oh my gosh, I have 500 fans. I'm never going to be at 39,000 fans like you are. And I'm like, wow, you've been in a month. Okay, I've been in, it'll be 3 years in August, and I have never went a single day without posting on that Facebook page, without checking my insights, or, you know, scheduling posts, talking to my customers, making something, checking on it somehow, posting a giveaway, whatever. And so I'm like, okay, well, when you've been in for 2 years and 4 months or whatever, 2 years and 6 months, if you've posted every single day for that entire 2 years, if you're not at 39,000 fans by then come and tell me, because I went presidential at 5,000 fans. Okay, presidential at 5,000 fans. So wouldn't that let you know that at a few hundred, you could go ruby, right? At 1,000, you may be able to go emerald, and you could just build it from there. Okay, we're done on time? 10 minutes. 10 minutes, sorry. So
yeah, I just want to even say on that, I remember being 150 likes. And I remember turning to my husband, and I was so excited. You know why? Because I wasn't comparing myself to someone else. And even with those 150 likes, I think I was like pushing for I maybe just gone ruby.
Yeah. If you blitzed 150 people today, how exhausted would you be?
Yeah.
Okay, how much time would it take to get through 150 people? And that would be like if 100 people approached you for your Blitz card, because they're not going to like your page if they're not interested at all. So you have to put things into perspective. If you have 150 fans on your page right now, that's 150 prospects that are at least intrigued, or they're following you for a reason. They're going to unlike your page if they don't have a reason to stick around. Yeah. So be proud of yourself for every single milestone, because even if you never get, I know presidentials that have 6,000 fans. I know ambassadors that have 2,000 fans. So, I mean, we just build solely on Facebook, so that's why the following is built to the amount that it is. But you have to capture the engagement of those 150 people just as if you had 39,000.
Yeah, you've got to find creative ways to get the wraps on people when you build primarily on Facebook, because we say whoever wraps the most tummies makes the most money, right? Well, I don't go wrap people. I did in the beginning, but I chose to build my business on Facebook. It's not for everybody. If you don't know how to build a fan page and you're struggling just posting a picture, you need to go wrap people. Mm-hmm. And I don't say that to be mean, but it's not everybody's cup of tea. Or find a different social media platform that you're better at than Facebook.
Yes.
Because sometimes it just doesn't come natural for everyone, and that's okay, because that's the beauty of this business. You can do it all different ways. You can go belly to belly like Mel and Tina paved the way and did for us, you know. That's probably why a lot of you haven't come in off social media, because they've been out rapping this town for years, and that's how they did it.
Right.
So I just, you know, okay, just to get back on track, we were talking about blitzing there for a second, and I was reminded, so creative ways to get wraps on people. So I do giveaways a lot. I give away wraps. You know, we sign up a lot of loyal customers on our pages, so we get those wrap rewards. So I chalk it up to, it's like $6 or $7 a wrap that I'm giving away. You don't have to do it every day. You can just do it once a month or once every couple of weeks, give away something. But at least you're getting wraps on people. So my goal is to wrap one person a day. So I give away like 30 wraps a month. But I've built my business. I didn't do that in the beginning. So find creative ways to get the wraps on people, because those people are going to turn into distributors. They're going to turn into loyal customers. And now I've got a whole slew of a portfolio of people's tummies that send back to me, because that's one of my requirements. If you win my wrap, you have to take pictures and you send it back to me and let me release the rights to me and let me use your pictures. So as long as you're out there, you've got to be constantly blitzing people on Facebook.
Yes.
If you're looking for other creative ways to build your fan base, they've got these amazing things called like ladders on Facebook. Just go to the search engine and Google it. You'll find all kinds of like ladders. Some of the ones I used was Sprinkle Me with Fans, Promote My Business Page, Business Among Moms.
Ladders for likes.
Yeah.
If you I just type into Facebook like ladders or ladder likes, and that will bring up some too. Real quick, the one thing that I just thought of when you said that is because a lot of people, when they're first starting out, they don't know how to blitz someone on Facebook. And I was reminded by this because I just spent a weekend in North Carolina last week with Presidential's Rusty and Robin Lackey, and we were talking about social media because they have built their business a lot like Melody and Tina, belly to belly, and so they're like looking at us, the younger generation, and they're like, oh my gosh, how are you doing this? Like, what the heck's going on? You know, what are you doing? It's illegal somehow. It has to be, like, something's going on. Something's in the water. I don't know. And Robin said to me, she was on her Facebook page, and I was showing her a couple things, and somebody messaged her and said, how does this work? And she goes, oh my God, what do I say? And I go, you tell her how it works. What do you mean? And she's like, I've never done this before. And she's sitting in front of her computer, and she's like, Amanda, what do I say? And I said, you need to treat her as if you were blitzing her. You literally need to look at your computer and you need to imagine that she is standing right in front of you. I'm like, girl, you've been in this for 13 years. If you went to the grocery and you would just walk up to somebody, she's asking you. She's come to you and wants to know. The engagement's already there. You've got her right here. So you just need to act like you're standing in front of her. So if you do decide to use Facebook, try to use things that are working for you in other areas. If you're really great at expos and there's one certain thing that you say at expos, that's going to work in social media too, because that's the point of it, is to create the relationship as if you're right in front of them. We couldn't train people in Australia and in Canada and in France if we didn't act like they were right next door to us. If we didn't be transparent enough to like we were standing right next to them, it wouldn't happen. So when you're blitzing on Facebook or you're teaching things on Facebook or just putting it out there, act like I'm even such a conversation starter. And what I said to Robin, I said, you are behind the computer, so act like you're 20 years old if you want to. Say, girl, these wraps are going to tighten, tone, and firm in 45 minutes. Can you believe that? Because she wouldn't necessarily do that in public, so it also opens a whole nother door for you guys, right?
So Instagram is huge right now. I just wanted to touch on that because I know we've been talking about Facebook. I really think that that's going to be the next big thing.
Yeah, and you guys write the names of our pages down.
Yeah.
You know, like she's Rapping Mom on Instagram. I'm Kneller Fit Wraps on Instagram and Facebook. It's Knelle. It's like Kneller. And it's okay to be a copycat if you copy the right cats. And we're not tooting our own horns, but I'm telling you, it's working for us. And it can work for you too, because I know Chad just wrote down for me, there's 1.4 billion people on Facebook right now, and we've got 60,000 distributors. I mean, we have not tapped out social media. And if you're good at Twitter, my first customer that I ever got in this business, and this is how Chad and I knew that this was like way different than anything we've ever done, is that I posted one picture on Pinterest. And I got a retail customer from Las Vegas. I'd never even heard of them. We were like, oh my gosh, that never happened in any other companies. And so, I mean, just put your stuff out there. You never know who's gonna see it. Just always make sure you've got your information. Put your phone number, your website, have information so that they can get back with you.
Yes, one quick thing too. Everyone always asks, when is the best time to post? And I talked to 3 people last week that were like, yeah, we post from like noon to 8 p.m. No, from 8 p.m. to 1 a.m., I think, 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. even. And I say that because that is your mama, that's your target mama time, in my opinion. I don't know what time these two girls came into the business, but I came in at about 10 p.m. And that's because kids are in bed, and that's your time. That's mom's time to be on Facebook. So remember that when you're going to post, that your prime time is going to be bedtime, and you want to catch those late night owls also, okay? Yes, yes. Thank you, Melody, so much for having us.